So mutual exclusion and task synchronization in microcontroller OS2. So microcontroller OS2 will provide exclusive access to the shared resource. Means at a time only one process or task can access the resource. So there are various ways to provide the exclusive access to the shared resource. So one of the ways is disabling the task scheduling. So we discuss this function called that is the OS scheduler lock. So scheduler is locked when you are going to access the shared resource, and when access is completed you can call the function OS scheduler unlock. So these are the two functions to disable the scheduling. Second way, we can disable the interrupt. So OS underscore enter underscore critical, and when you have to enable the interrupt you can call OS underscore exit critical. Now see the task void task 1. So this is the name of the task. We pass some argument. A task is an infinite loop function. You can write the code specific related to the task. Then whenever you have to access the critical section, or you have to access the shared resource, you can disable the interrupt by calling the function OS underscore enter critical. So you can disable the interrupt. It means no other task will try to access the critical section. Now you can enter in a critical section, you can access the shared resource, and when you have to leave the critical section you can enable the interrupt by calling the function OS underscore exit critical. So this is the second way to disabling the interrupt. So for the task synchronization we can go for disabling the interrupt by calling the function OS underscore enter underscore critical. You can access the shared resource. Once access is completed you can enable the interrupt by calling the function OS underscore exit critical. Next way, semaphore for mutual exclusion. So semaphore is a system defined object. So before accessing the shared resource you can access that semaphore object. If a semaphore is available it means the resource is available. Now microcontroller OS2 support a counting semaphore and a binding semaphore. So counting semaphore, count is a fix, and in a binary semaphore value is either 1 or 0. Now counting semaphore, limited task can access the shared resource. So there is a counter, so for keeping the track of number of tasks using the semaphore at a given point of the time. So counter is the associated with the counting semaphore. Now we will see the function called that is a OS semaphore create. So it will create and initialize a counting semaphore. It create and initialize a counting semaphore. So semaphore is acquired by the task, so its count is decremented by 1. When count reaches to the 0, the semaphore is not available. So OS semaphore create, it will create and initialize a counting semaphore. So semaphore is acquired by the task. At that time count is decremented by 1, and when this count is reaches to the 0 it means semaphore is not available. So basically count is 0 to 65535. OS semaphore post. So any task who hold the semaphore and who accessing the shared resource, once the access is over that task can call the function OS semaphore post. So it will give the signal that availability of the semaphore object. So semaphore is available, other tasks can use that semaphore and they can access the shared resource. If semaphore is not available, a task will call the function OS semaphore pend. It is used by the task to check that a semaphore is available or not. If the semaphore is available, use it. If not, go in a waiting state. OS semaphore accept. So this is a very similar function called to the OS semaphore pend. The only difference is that if the semaphore is not available, the calling task will go in a waiting state. It will continue its execution. That is the difference between OS semaphore pend and OS semaphore accept. OS semaphore query. So when you need information about the semaphore object, that is means how many semaphore count, whether the semaphore is available or not. So such type of information you required. So you can get this information by calling the function OS semaphore query. So it will retrieve the information about the semaphore count, and semaphore is available or not. We can set the count. OS semaphore set, it is used to change the current count of the semaphore. So this is the function called OS semaphore count set. So it is used by the semaphore to set the count or to change the value. There are other way for mutual exclusion is mutex, that is a binary semaphore. So it is a binary semaphore. So it implements a provision for handling the priority inversion problem. So temporarily raises the priority of low priority task. So mutex object associated with the flag to indicate whether the object is available or not. So there is a priority reserve for the mutex is known as a priority inheritance priority. So see the functions call, that is OS mutex create. It will create and initialize a binary semaphore. So it will take the parameters like priority inheritance priority, OS mutex pend. It is used by the task for acquiring the mutex. If the mutex is available, access is given to the task. If mutex value is set to the 0, to indicate that the mutex is used by other task. So OS mutex pend, it is used by the task to acquire the mutex object. If the mutex is available, access is given to the task and make the count to the 0, because this is a binary semaphore. So 0 will indicate that the mutex object is used by other task. Whenever the object is not available, whenever mutex is not available, the calling task will go in a waiting state in case of OS mutex pend. OS mutex accept, it is very similar to the pend. The only difference is that the calling task will not go in a block state. So it is used by the task to acquire the mutex object. If it is available, the access is given to that particular task and make the count 0, because this is a binary semaphore. If the mutex object is not available, the calling task will continue its execution without going into waiting state. OS mutex post. So whenever the mutex object is held by the task and the work is completed or shared resource is accessed, it can call the function OS mutex post. So it will signal to other tasks that the mutex object is available, you can access that object or you can access the shared resource. So when you call this function, the following actions will be taken. The first action is a flag associated with the mutex is set to the 1. So we make that a mutex value 0 when it is acquired or it is held by the task. So when any task release the mutex, we can set the value 1. If the priority of task holding the mutex was raised to the priority inheritance priority, so it will be brought back to the original priority of a task. The third action, if more than one task is waiting for the mutex is given to the highest priority of task and the flag associated with the mutex is set to the 0. So this is a OS mutex post. It will give the signal that mutex object is available. So it will set the count 1. If the priority of task is increased to priority inheritance protocol, it is brought back to the original priority. If more than one task is waiting for the mutex, it is given to the highest priority of task. Now whenever you need some information about the mutex, you can call the function OS mutex query. So it will give the information about that mutex, that is mutex is available or not, or priority inheritance priority for the mutex. Such information you will get by calling the function OS mutex query. OS mutex delete, it will delete a mutex. Next, event or a flag. So event and flag is a mechanism supported by microcontroller OS2 for a task synchronization. Now we can create a group of event flag and assign a specific meaning to each bit present in a event flag group. Task and ISR can modify or access these events. So flag bit to synchronize their execution. Now see the functions related to the flag bit. OS flag create, it will create and initialize a event flag group. So it will take the initial value that need to be set for the flag as a one parameter. Now see the function OS flag post. It will set or clear the individual bits in a flag group. So we can call this function OS flag post to set the values of bits that is present in a group or to clear the values. Now see this OS flag post the parameters which can set all the bit or which can reset all the bit. So this is the option, we can specify option for the event bit. OS flag wait clear all, OS flag underscore wait clear any, OS flag underscore wait set all, OS underscore flag underscore wait underscore set any. So you can set any bit or you can set all the bit, or you can clear any bit or you can clear all the bits. So these are the parameters which is passed to the flag, so you can decide. Now OS flag accept, it is similar to the pend function, but the calling task will be not blocked. Whenever you have to need the information about the flag group, you can call the function OS flag query. So retry the current values of the flags in that flag group. Next, that is a memory management. Microcontroller OS to support runtime memory allocation and deallocation on depending upon the requirement. So memory is divided into a block. So see this block 1, partition 1, partition 2 and partition 3. So this memory is divided into block 1, block 2, n number of block. So every partition contain minimum of 2 block, and this every partition having a memory control block which is associated with the memory. Now see the functions called related to the memory. OS memory create, so these are the parameters: void pointer address, integer 32, number of blocks, block size and error. So when you call the function OS memory create, it will create and initialize the memory partition. So this is the starting address of the memory, number of blocks in that partition, block 1, block 2. So this is the number of block, this is integer, and size of the block, again it is a integer, size of the block. So when you call this function OS memory create, you have to pass the starting address of the memory partition. Again you have to give how many number of blocks are present in that memory and what is the size of the block. So these are the parameters we can pass. Now when you require the memory for your task, you can call the function OS memory get. So pointer, again this is the error. So when you call this function OS memory get, acquire a memory block from the partition. So when you require this block, you have to call the function OS memory get. So give the pointer to the memory partition control block which is obtained while creating the memory partition. So this is a pointer to the memory partition control block that is created when you create a partition. When you get that memory block and when you have to release that memory block, you can call the function OS memory put. So this is a memory OS memory put function. So it will release the specific memory block to that particular partition. So we require the pointer to the memory partition control block, and we require a pointer to the memory block to be released. So which block you have to release, we require the pointer, and which partition you are going to release the memory block, so we need the pointer address of that partition. Whenever you need some required some query, you need the information about the memory, you can call this function OS memory query. So it will retrieve the information about a memory partition. That means the starting address of a memory, how many number of blocks are present in a memory, size of a memory block. So when you need the information about the size of memory block or how many number of blocks are there and what is the starting address of that partition, you can call the function OS memory query. Next, interrupt handling. Microcontroller OS to each interrupt is assigned a interrupt request number IRQ. For every interrupt there is a number, that is a IRQ number, interrupt request number. So for every interrupt, action corresponding to that particular interrupt is implemented in a interrupt service routing, that is the ISR. So whenever interrupt is occur, ISR is executed. What is the ISR? ISR contains a code for saving the CPU register and restoring it back when the ISR is completed. So in ISR we write the code for saving the CPU content and restore this content when the ISR is completed. So microcontroller OS2 support a nested vector nested interrupt, that is a level of 255 interrupt are supported. So the interrupt nesting level is keep track by the function, that is OS interrupt nesting. There are two functions to enter in an interrupt, that is OS int enter, that is inform kernel that ISR being processed. So that is a function call, that is OS interrupt enter. So whenever we have to exit from the interrupt, this is a function call, that is OS interrupt exit. So inform kernel that interrupt processing is completed. So by calling this function, so the task will inform to the kernel that the interrupt processing is over.